Welcome to the updated video about my favourite fountain pens from China. I'm not trying to become one of those YouTubers that update their top 10 or top 5 lists every month, but since I last did my top 5 fountain pens from China, which was a video I did back in April of last year, I've tried at least 30 different new fountain pens from China, and new releases from brands such as Wingsung, Jinhao and Bao'er have really upped the standard in terms of the quality that you can expect from a Chinese fountain pen that costs under $5. And I do feel that the old list is very outdated and a lot of those pens wouldn't even make it onto the new list. So without ado, I'm going to make the new top 5 fountain pens under $5. This time I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to break the pens down to 5 categories, those categories being metal body fountain pen, plastic everyday pen, large nibbed fountain pen, hooded nibbed fountain pen, and piston fountain pen. And as well as that, I'm also going to select 1 or 2 alternatives to that fountain pen. So let's jump into the video. So the first category I'm going to talk about is metal body fountain pen, and my favourite metal body fountain pen is this. This is the Wingsung 6359, or I'm going to call it the copy of the Lamy All-Star, the metal version of the loved Lamy Safari. And there's a lot of reasons why I'm going to give this my favourite metal body fountain pen. First, it's the price. Instead of paying $50, $60 for an All-Star, you're only paying $2.80, and for $2.80 you're getting a really durable pen. It does scratch with heavy use, but that's the same on the Lamy All-Star. One of the things that I really love about this pen is the nib. It comes with a fake Lamy style nib. It is an extra fine, but they have managed to grind it so well, and it's probably one of my favourite extra fine nibs that I've been using. Another reason why I like it is the build quality and the ergonomics. This pen uses the Lamy style grip, and I'm starting to like it more and more. It's a very ergonomic pen. As well as that, the ink lasts in it for quite a few days, and that's why I'm giving it my favourite metal body fountain pen. There are several more alternatives that you could use. One of them is this. This is the Bao'er 388. It is a copy of Parker Sonnet, one of my favourite fountain pens, and the reason why it's coming on this list is instead of being made from aluminium, it is made from stainless steel, which makes it much more durable, and it is very, very durable. You can apply a lot of pressure and it won't break. It's very cheap, but the reason why I didn't take the top spot was the nib. I don't like the nib as much. I feel it's a little bit scratchier, but it is still a very solid pen and it's pretty cheap. Another alternative you could use is this. This is the Bao'er 301, another stainless steel fountain pen, very, very durable, and it is a lot slimmer because it is a knockoff of the Parker Vector, but I do love this pen. It came with a wonderful and wet nib, though it is a lot slimmer, a little bit less ergonomic, which is why I gave the award to the Wingsung 6359. So the next category I'm going to talk about is everyday carry plastic pen, and this is a pen that you can use every single day, is cheap, is very reliable, and is a pen that anyone could pick up and use. And the pen that I'm going to give the award to is this. This is the Jinhao 992, a new release from Jinhao that they released in the middle of last year, and I think it was a big step up in terms of quality from Jinhao. I've since used 3 of these fountain pens, and I think the quality from each fountain pen is really good across the board. They have a brand new updated nib, which has really good grinding, and I think is much better than the nibs I used to get from Jinhao. These pens only cost you about $2.25, and you're getting such a great plastic pen. As well as that, it's a really cool demonstrator pen, which is really nice aesthetically, and in terms of ergonomics, it is really nice to hold. Everyone that I've lent this pen to has thought it is a really ergonomic pen, and they're just great pens all around. For $2.25, I think they're awesome. Now, an alternative that you could use is this. This is the Wingsung 3003, which is a copy of the Pilot Prera, one of my favourite fountain pens that I use. Now, this clone is a little bit bigger than the Pilot Prera, which makes it a lot more ergonomic to use than the Pilot, but it's still small enough to be considered a pocket fountain pen. Its ergonomics are really good because it is a little bit bigger than the Prera, and in terms of build quality, it is really good and still really cheap. The nib is not as nice, I think, than the Jinhao, but I think for the price that you're paying, it is really good. Another alternative that I'm going to recommend is this. This is the Wingsung 3001, and it is a clone of the Pilot 78G. And the reason why this is going to be on my list is it offers different ergonomics to these two pens. These two pens are a lot thicker than the Pilot 78G clone, and if anyone likes to use slimmer fountain pens, I think this is the better pen to go with. It's very slim, but it is still very ergonomic. The nib is very nice on this pen. It's very similar to the Pilot Fine nib, and I think that is pretty good considering that you're only paying about $2.50 for this pen. So the next type of fountain pen I'm going to be talking about is hooded nibbed fountain pens. These fountain pens offer much greater writing speeds than normal fountain pens, but in turn offer much less line variation. Now the pen that I'm going to pick is this. This is the Jinhao 911 or Jinhao 911, and these offer a really great writing experience. Even though that I don't like to use hooded nibbed fountain pens all that often, I do see myself using this pen quite often. So let's talk about the price. This pen only cost me $2.05, and for that you get a full metal body fountain pen, and it's made from stainless steel, and I think that offers a great quality because this pen is pretty indestructible. As well as that, you get brilliant ergonomics. These pens are really nice to hold because you can hold them anywhere on the grip and you can still write with it. Now in terms of the hooded nib is really good. This is a fine or an extra fine, and they have ground it really well. It is an amazing pen for the price, and I think it offers much more quality than this pen. This was the Hero 616, which was on my last top 5 fountain pen videos. This is also a hooded nibbed fountain pen, but it's not as durable, and I don't think the nib is as good, so I much prefer this one over this. Now as an alternative, you could buy this. This is the Jinhao 993 or the Jinhao Shark, and the reason why I'd see myself buying this pen is for the ergonomics. On this pen there are ergonomic facets on the grip, very similar to the Pilot Plumix, and if you do like the ergonomic facets, say on the Pilot Plumix or the Lamy Safari, I could see myself buying this over this. They're both very cheap fountain pens, and what really separates them are the ergonomics, the lack of a clip, and of course, because it has a bloody shark on it. Who wouldn't want that? So let's go on to the next category of large nibbed fountain pens. I'm talking about fountain pens that have at least a number 6 or greater nib, and that award goes to the Jinhao X450 / Jinhao X750 because there aren't that many fountain pens on the Chinese market that have really big nibs and also don't cost all that much. So this is a number 6 size nib on the Jinhao X750, and this is a number 5 nib on the Bayor, and it is much bigger, I think about 1/3 bigger than the Bayor pen, and there are several reasons why you might want to get a number 6 size nib. First reason being, they are much more aesthetically pleasing to look at, say if you're signing a document, and I always like to sign my documents either with a number 6 size nib or my Parker Sonnet, depending what I have on me. Another reason why you might want to have a number 6 size nib is depending how the grip is set up and how you like to hold your fountain pen. It is a little bit more comfortable for some people to have that little bit extra bit of a nib on the fountain pen for when you write. Depends really how far back you hold your pen. Another reason why you might want a number 6 size nib is this is an internationally recognized nib size, which means if you don't like the nib on your Jinhao X450 or X750, you can swap it out with a number 6 size nib. That means you can go from a medium to, say, a broad, a nib that Jinhao doesn't ship with, or if you want to be creative, you could install one of these. This is a Zebra G nib. It is a number 6 size nib, and I have installed it on my fountain pen to make it a flex nib that also has a feed, which means I don't have to keep re-dipping it. I really do like these Jinhao pens. They were on my old top 5 video, and they are really solid pens and for not that much money. Alright then, let's go on to the final category, and that is piston fountain pens. And before 2017, there were no Chinese fountain pens that had an internal piston in them. You'd have to look to brands such as TWSBI with their 580 and TWSBI Echo to get a piston fountain pen. And those pens cost, what, upwards of $30 each. And that was until the Wingsung 698 came onto the market, followed closely by the Wingsung 3008. Now, the Wingsung 698 is a fountain pen that, let's give it to them, is a Chinese fountain pen, but it costs $20. So I was so happy when the Wingsung 3003 came onto the market, because it is only $3, and for that you get a piston fountain pen, and a really well built piston fountain pen. So let's get onto the nib first. The nib is like the Wingsung 6359. It is an extra fine nib, but they have found a way to grind it in such a good manner. It is really smooth, offers very little feedback, but also doesn't skip, it doesn't hard start. It is really good. I cannot believe how good the extra fine nib is on this fountain pen. Let's go on to the ergonomics of this fountain pen, because ergonomically it is better than a lot of my more expensive fountain pens. Ergonomically, it is so nice to write with. It's really comfortable, and I find myself writing with this pen for 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It really doesn't matter, because this pen is so comfortable to write with. You can write with it posted, but in my opinion, I don't post it all that much. In terms of build quality, the piston may not be as high quality as the pistons on the TWSBI Eco, but they do their job well. They suck up heaps of ink, and this ink will last you 1, maybe 1.5 months. In terms of actual quality, this is really good plastic, and you can apply a lot of pressure and it won't break. So this pen for $3 is awesome. Now, as I said before, the alternative is the Wingsung 698, but it is 6 times the price. The only other real competitor I can think of is the Lambitao 6359, which is a knockoff of the TWSBI Eco. The reason why I'm not putting it on this list is because I don't think the ergonomics are all that nice on that fountain pen, and as well as that, I don't think it's built all that well. The only real upside to that pen is the nib, which I did quite enjoy.